Hey everybody, Pirate Dave here. This is what we got for the last weekend of June 2012 yard selling. We spent a total of $43 and we drove a whole lot of miles for very few sales that were going on. We did manage to get a few things that made it worth our while, even though we drove probably 200 miles in the last few days and probably hit around maybe 10 sales. That was it. And I think the reason was because of a lot of graduation parties and coming around July 4th weekend, people are going on vacation. But anyway, this is what $43 bought us, and I'm going to start over here with the miscellaneous stuff. Everything you see here in this little pile and this little box of vintage Christmas ornaments was $13. And the best find out of that were these 14 karat gold earrings for $1. And they're a little over a penny weight, which is not very much, but it's still gonna bring around a little over 40 bucks for me in scrap. So that will essentially pay for everything we bought over the weekend, which means the rest of the stuff was free, which is always nice. And just gonna show off this little tin of jewelry that somebody had, and that was $2. Nothing really fantastic in there, but it was still worth $2. There's a couple of French perfume bottles and some vintage. There's one vintage Bakelite piece and a whole bunch of other little things in there that are kind of neat, including a little steampunk brooch and this thing, which I thought was cool and it's going to need some research, is this circa 1930s enameled pen from Switzerland. And as you can see, it's an older one, but it says it's in Swiss, so I don't know what it means, but it looks like it might have had something to do with the Matterhorn, possibly. But it's kind of a neat pen. It's about the size of a $50. And then coming over here, we got some just vintage pieces of glassware that we'll probably take to a show and sell, because I don't think this stuff is selling very well on eBay right now. And as well as this, it's called Chantilly Ironstone. It's circa 1850s. Kind of a nice piece. It's like a footed bowl. It does have a little chip in it, but it was $3. And then this little silver-plated statue, which, believe it or not, it looks old, but it is not old, and it will probably sell fairly well at an auction. And then coming over here, we got a couple. My girlfriend collects vintage creamers. These were $1/4 a piece. This one here on the left is Victorian era, and it's all enamel painted. And then this one here is English, and it's from the 1930s or so. And for $1, she picked up this 2003 Longaberger Basket, which are very collectible. And then part of the $13 miscellaneous pile of stuff also included this box of vintage Christmas ornaments. And I didn't want to take them out of the box. I've got to clean them up real well because somebody left a whole bunch of rat poison in the bottom of it, so that's not good, especially being that we have dogs. So anyway, it was a nice big pile for $2. And then the best thing we got was from one sale, and we paid $30. And the guy, he had a sign out that said "Last Chance," and I would have loved to seen what he had on Friday. But for $30, he was an older guy, and a lot of this stuff belonged to his grandfather. I got these old trout lines, they're called, and some little wooden trout rods. Nice old vintage lure. Big old wooden bobber. Little old pal bait bucket. Couple of knives, big Bowie knife, and this nice little sharp hunting knife made by Sharp. And then we got an Atlas improved mason jar from the 1860s, and a Wagner griddle, and this nice double bit plumb axe, which once I clean it up and figure out what the mark is, these can sell up to a couple $100. And then the last part find for the $30 lot of items this guy had was this old fishing rod that was his grandfather's, a two-piece rod. Probably, I'm thinking early 1900s, maybe a little bit older. Anyway, that's what we got for $43. Good luck, everybody.